here's my biggest unpopular opinion. The prettiest girls don't get guys. If you're in the drop dead gorgeous category, chances are you're really intimidating to guys. They either think you must already have a boyfriend or that you wouldn't even look in their direction, and because they fear rejection, they wouldn't dare come and speak to you. Don't get me wrong, really pretty girls do get approached by guys sometimes, but typically it's guys that are way below their league and like really ugly guys, because those guys don't have an ego. They don't really fear rejection because they get rejected all the time.
Ah, yes, the plight of the so-called beautiful women, which, as many of the other women who commented on your video, somehow also means that they are confident as well, which of course in their minds terrifies men, and it's why men won't approach them. Well, let's talk about that and also talk about the reality as men see it. And let me be perfectly clear here, ladies. This is not me dissing her or putting her down or even putting women in general down. This is me telling y'all the reality of the world as men see it, not the fantasy you've all created where you all think you know better than men how men think and feel. First off, I hate to break it to you ladies, but contrary to what y'all think and what y'all tell each other, the overwhelming majority of you aren't gorgeous. At least not in the technical term. Sure, I know all your girlies tell you you are. That is, at least to your face. Because we all know what women say about each other behind their backs, don't we? But that's not how men see it when we see women for who they actually are and what they actually look like, especially when they bulldozer off the gallons of makeup that they chisel on their face every day and remove the filters that they hide behind in their pictures and videos. The fact of the matter is that there are very, very few naturally beautiful women, just like there are very, very few naturally handsome men. Sorry to say that, but we aren't all 9s and 10s. We're all, for the most part, somewhere in the middle, hence the term mids. And rather than acknowledge it, rather than accept it and celebrate it, because there's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with it, women try to convince each other that reality is something different, that every woman out there is a 10 and deserves a 10 man. Which leads me to the second fantasy you've all created in your minds, which is that we men are terrified of you and your so-called confidence. Trust me, ladies, we aren't terrified of anything. We, again, just see it for what it really is. Because, darlings, I hate to break it to you, but what you think is confidence, to men, is arrogance, as proven by the aforementioned belief that you all think you're perfect 10s. And while you're treating men like garbage, while you're using them and tossing them aside, thinking that makes you a confident boss bitch, it's anything but. It doesn't make you high value, it makes you something to avoid. The arrogance and attitude that today's modern women show towards men, which, by the way, men can spot a mile away, and the subsequent thinking that goes along with it, that being that way somehow makes you strong, independent boss bitches who somehow scare men away, is exactly why men aren't approaching you. Real men have looked at it for what it is, and that reality is that women are putting their toxicity, never-ending demands, drama, and high maintenance, higher standards, out there for men to see. And trust me, ladies, we men see it. And the truth of the matter is, no real man is ever going to want to be around a woman like that, let alone date or marry her. So it's not that men are afraid of pretty women or their confidence. It's not that they're scared. It's that they aren't willing to put up with this narcissism any longer, which is why they're done and walking away. And it's also why, as more and more women end up alone, they're telling each other and themselves it's not them or their attitude, it's just that men are scared. Anything to cope and avoid taking responsibility.